What's up, family? This is your man, not your boy, Go Black to Africa. So I'm sitting here in Tanzania, Zanzibar to be exact, here on a permaculture farm with a young man who's coming from Germany,
Right.
whose father's from the Congo, mother's German, and you decided to go black to Africa.
Exactly.
You please share with us, why did you decide to take on this program here, learning about permaculture and coming back to the motherland?
So, basically I was in school and I always wondered what I wanted to do after school. So I really didn't want to go into college right away. So, I already knew that I want to go to Africa at some point. And, I stumbled across it on the internet and there was this organization. They were doing volunteer work in Tanzania and who were sending young Germans to Tanzania to volunteer for 1 year. And basically, because my entire father's side of the family is from Africa, is from the Congo, I'm always interested in African culture.
Yeah.
And I wanted to experience for myself. So, I applied for the program and they accepted me. So, and now I'm here. So there was just a little bit of preparation, some language courses and some cultural preparation, and that's basically all I needed to come here. And I arrived just about a week ago in Dar es Salaam, and I arrived actually in Zanzibar just two days ago. So,
Well, good. I ran across him when I was interviewing my mom out here on the farm. And, he had asked me where I was from. And I said, Africa. The people ask me that. It's like, we all from Africa, really,
Right.
when you look at it. And I said, don't look like the part, be the part, be African, because many people want to. I think it's a spirit thing that is really coming out of us, the motherland of Africa, that people are really trying to get back to their roots. And it's good that you decided to come back to a motherland and to see how it is, what it brings you, what gives you, because your dad was from here, right? I even said your mom is German, but all humanity started here in Africa.
Right here in Tanzania. This is where it all began, actually. So,
Yeah.
we're right here.
So let me ask you this right here. A young man living in Germany, what part?
So I'm from the north. So I'm from a big city called Hamburg. It's the second largest city next to Berlin. And so, I've never really even been out in nature like that.
Yeah.
2 million inhabitants, so very packed and very, industrial. So, I only saw nature really on the weekends and when I was on vacation. So, and then, even in Germany, it's not real nature like that.
Yeah.
It's not like, so this is really the first time where I basically live together with my environment. Like, you can't see it right now, but I actually live in like a small house right over there. It's very, rural right here. And it's very like, it's very rustic, And so, I wake up every day, I hear the birds and the cicadas and everything, and I open the door and I'm right here in Africa. So, what can be better? What can be better?
That's beautiful. What do you see differently besides, you just mentioned some things, the differences than being in Germany and then being here in Africa. One thing that stands out to me really is the sun here, to me, it hits me differently than it does over in America.
Really?
And it does something, to me as far as, I don't know, it just, spiritually, I just like, it opens me up or something.
Yeah.
You being in Germany, I've been there. I lived in Germany for 4 years.
Really?
Stuttgart.
I
was in Stuttgart.
South.
Yeah,
Okay.
down in the South. And, I tell you, and I've been there back and forth over the years. And Germany, really, it has a lot of cloud cover. It doesn't have a lot of sun. The sun comes in and out, but it's really like not, you don't get to enjoy the sun like here.
Yeah.
Do you notice that, the difference?
Yeah, of course. Like here, it's like every day you get at least like 8 full hours. Right now it's a bit covered, but especially it's still in the morning. So during the noon time, it's always sunny, and it's really like different from Germany because, we are like in the tropical regions here. So there's the same amount of sunlight like every day. So, and the sun rises and the sun sets every day at the same time. So every day 6:30 it rises, every day 6:30 it goes down. So it's always the same. And it's really like refreshing to have that because Right now, we're in the beginning of September. It's now starting to cool down in Germany. So
Yeah.
the day is starting to get really short, and the winter is really, really hard, you know. And it's always dark. There's really nothing, you know, you can do about it. So here I can have the sun, and I can have the warm weather every day. So it's really like I'm feeling like this is what's supposed to be like, you know.
Do you learn? You're just finishing up. You know, I don't know if y'all call it high school or not. There,
Yeah.
can't remember. But do they teach you anything about Africa? Do they teach you anything about it's the land, the sun, like we're talking about, the fertile grounds. I mean,
Right.
did you have any teachings of your African heritage, your culture, the cultures that are here?
Exactly. So that is one of my biggest like critique point of I guess the German education system. You know, history. You know, we only get taught like history,
German things.
You know, German and European specifically, and even like some American stuff. You know, like Civil War, whatever. And like Asia and Africa, especially Africa, is basically out of the question. You know, there's no real history when it comes to even what was before colonial times. So even when we dive into African history, which is very unlikely, you know, most German schools don't do it. But even when we do it, it's like, okay, history starts when the Europeans came. You know, that's when the beginning point is. So they start with with the Portuguese, with the French, with the when they came to Africa, and it's always the same story, of colonial heritage. You can if you open a book, like that's what you're gonna see. Like you're gonna see like the colonial heritage, like it's written in the words. So when they came and they saw these brutes, and they civilized them, and it's always like the same story, and it's it's the only thing that I had I known basically because if it weren't for my father, if he didn't told me how it really is, then I would have just gone my entire life without knowing anything.
Did your dad ever bring you back here to Africa?
He did not actually.
Ooh.
So this is actually my first time being in Africa. I haven't even been to like North Africa, like Egypt or Maghreb region or anything. So
is your dad still with us here on Earth?
Yes, he's still with us here on Earth. But
Daddy, you should have took your children to Africa.
He should have, But
all right, Daddy. Okay. And for the rest, let me say this right here. Even for the rest of the diasporans that are living abroad, do you think it's important for their children to come back to Africa when they left Africa to go to these Western countries? Do you think it was a part of you that maybe when you were growing up that you missed or were curious about?
Definitely.
Was there something that was missing that? Did it have an effect on you, think?
Yes, it really did, because, even though I grew up with my father, he was always present, I didn't really get that much African culture, I guess, because, when I was born, he was already living in Germany for like 15 or 16 years or so. So he was like really German, like at that point, he spoke fluently and everything.
He was really German. That means
he was really German.
He changed.
He changed, but we still kept in contact with my African side of my family. But,
Okay.
they also did not live. Not everyone, but most of them already did not live in Africa anymore. So
Right.
I have 5. My father was one of 5. And 2 of him, so he and my other uncle, they were living in Germany. 2 others were living in Italy. Okay. Only one of them stayed here, right in Africa. So, I only have like cousins that I met when I was in Italy. I haven't met my cousins that are here in Africa. So, this is like something that I've missed. And even like when it comes to language, I don't speak any African language. Now I'm here in Tanzania, and I'm trying to learn Swahili. So, after 1 year, I will be able to speak Swahili, and how you can't really understand a culture until you know the language that they speak. So I think if I really focus on learning the language and really try to talk to people, then I will be able to absorb the culture a bit more, because if I speak English with them, they don't really connect with me on that same level. It's really important for me to learn
It definitely is.
Swahili. So yeah, even my father, he's from the Congo, so he doesn't speak Swahili. So I have like that over him, I guess.
Yeah.
when I'm back, you know.
So okay, in closing, let me say this right here. I appreciate you doing this interview with me, and I'm gonna tell you, your life will never be the same because of an experience that you have here in Africa. And I'm quite sure that even when you have children, you'll probably, if you decide to go back to the Western world, which I think that probably be short-lived, because when you get a taste of it,
Yeah.
coming from a West, people still keeps coming back.
Yeah.
They say once you go black, you never go back. That's what they say in America.
That's black on crack, right?
So I mean, I know that there are great hopes for even your children's children to
Right.
come to a motherland, to know different cultures. I've been to 18 African countries.
Wow.
So, my thing is that, once you have that experience, there's like no other, But what would you say to those out there who are in the Western world that are of your age? Should they involve themselves in programs to come to Africa? Because everybody else goes to Europe, Spain, Italy, and all these other places, but nobody thinks about Africa. What would you say to them?
Nobody thinks about Africa, and I even thought, I guess the education might be the reasons why that is the case. I guess some even people who look like me, living in other countries in the diaspora, they think there's nothing that you can gain from Africa. They think there's nothing there. And so first we have to maybe teach, or we have to be shown that there's so much to gain when you come here. And without this in mind, they think, oh, why should I go there? Because I live here in the West and I already got everything I need. But that's not true. There's always something that will be missing, from your own family's history when you've never been here. So yeah, I think it's very important that they do come here. It doesn't really matter which way. I'm here for 1 year. I'm volunteering, but you don't have to volunteer to come here. And you can go, and you can just visit. Visit and look for yourself. Don't just have even the stereotypes or anything, preventing you from exploring the world and exploring Africa. So yeah, just come here and see for yourself. And I even know some other volunteers, who they really came here and then they were like, I'm not going back,
Yeah.
and they just stayed.
Yeah.
You can extend, I'm here 1 year officially, but if I like it a lot, I can extend my stay, and I basically, if I find a job, I can stay as long as I want. And I've only been here for 2 days in Zanzibar, so I can't really say
you
that right
just
now.
got here, yeah,
I just
yeah.
got here, so
I'm quite sure it's going to definitely press itself upon you, because I keep coming back myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's something about it,
Oh yeah, it is.
There's
It
something
is.
about it.
Well, I thank you, young man. I
Thanks.
appreciate you. And family, listen to the young man. 18 years old.
18 years of age, just turned 18 actually.
Just turned 18. Well, hey, you learned something. Here's a gold nugget for you all. This is your man, not your boy. This is your
Man, not your boy.
Go Black to Africa. All right.
All right. See ya.
Think about it, 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 think about it.